Yeah, so we're back and we're on a bit of a run. We got like podcast after podcast.
Season 2, mate. We're not playing no games.
No games.
No games.
We got Oli Sillito with us.
Yes, Mr. Oli.
Yes.
Before we start, explain the suit and the look.
Right, so I didn't know I was doing the podcasting today, but so I'm from a school like called Stone Soup Academy in the city, like so, and it's an alternative provision where students are either excluded or at risk of exclusions from mainstream. But what we do every year for all our year 11s is take them out to Broadway, buy more suits, and like give them that kind of like send off, and it's like for them to do whatever they want with. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's going to be a college interview, job interview. Yeah. Sometimes it's just to feel there's something different when you put on a suit.
Oh, 100%.
So that's what, and they all did that, and we do like a big presentation. They get like awards and that, and they all love it, and that's what we're doing today. So that's why I do look dapper Dan today.
Suave, yeah. So it's like we talk about a lot, like about like how we can get like kids involved in stuff, and you do the same, like with CRS, you're doing youth clubs and stuff like that. And like Stone Soup's trying to make an effort now to push out and actually get kids doing creative stuff.
It's needed, mate. It's needed. I respect it. You know what I mean? Because for me, like I say, I keep bagging on about it. Like, just some kids just need the platform. Some kids just need the platform to express themselves, and the more platforms there is, the more likely they're gonna kind of tend towards that. You know what I mean? Lean towards that, and then that if they're going towards that, then they're off the streets. So
literally, there was a TED talk with a guy called Ken Robinson where he said like being creative now is as important as literacy.
Yeah, 100%.
And it should be like given that same level of respect.
Facts.
And I think sometimes when you get like kids are saying like, "Oh, read this and read that," like Shakespeare or whatever it is, they don't realise there was a Carla did this mad thing on one of his things where he literally he said like, here's some like he put some lyrics out and then put Shakespeare, and he's telling kids like, can you tell the difference? And they couldn't. So it's like it's just teaching it in a different way and showing things can be different. And I think, I mean, the kids that we get through, like the stuff that they want to do and like how creative they can be, it's just like, and the confidence that some of them have as well. So they're not confident with maths, but if you put a camera in front of their face
on it
and a mic in front of them, they'll just be they're going.
They're on it.
And people suddenly go, "Oh, this person's amazing," blah, blah, blah. But they don't get the same opportunities in certain places. And mainstream, I try never to kind of like slag off mainstream schools in terms of what they're doing.
It's a bit mad,
I do, mate.
But there's there's 1,000 kids coming through and whatever it is, and it's like they can get missed. And these people who are very creative sometimes express themselves completely different. And I think the biggest thing as well is they're like, because for me, I've seen so many kids come from so many different backgrounds and struggle in so many different ways. But as soon as you just talk to them on a level about like what you enjoy and what you want to do in your life, they just suddenly the passion just comes out.
Yeah, you have to take that time, take that little time out to actually get to know and show a little interest. It goes a long way. You know what I mean? Because like you said, a lot of these mainstream schools and that it's just a job for some of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just a job. They're not really taking time out to actually get to know a young person, you know what I mean? It's just, go to work, finish work, get off to Blood Clark, Bingham or wherever, we're going, Chilwell or whatever it is. But with these alternative provisions, it's more, like you said, it's more of a family, it's more family orientated, like we're growing together, you know what I mean? So it's needed, man.
And I think it's the relationship. When people come in, it's not about like, what were your grades like at school and what were your things like at school? It's just like what you into and everyone's just talking. And I think, especially when someone blows up or gets angry, everyone does it. But in a school setting, people suddenly think that person's got this and that person's got this. And it's just like that person could just have a bad day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That person could just have a bad day. And I think that's the key to what we try and do is that everyone can have that.
How long has Stone Soup been going for? So
it started like a Stone Soup project thing where I think when it first started, the guy who started it with there's 4 of them, and it literally was just like a music studio, which is basically a shed.
Yeah,
had like 4 students in there and doing the thing. Mad. And it's been but Stone Soup Academy's been a thing for it's been 10 years now, so it's coming up to its 10th anniversary. And I'm coming up to my 10th year.
Yeah, so you was there from the beginning.
Fairly near enough. Like it was all set up and stuff. I went in literally as a support staff. Yeah. And I went in because I used to do stand-up comedy when I was at uni and that and did all that stuff. And I started off and there was a student in there who was so funny. Like the funniest person you'll ever meet. But unbelievably just the stuff he would say was you'd be like, oh, you can't say that, you can't say that, you can't say that. So I got taught to come in and say, oh, just teach him boundaries of what he's saying. And I got him confident enough to do like a stand-up set in front of people.
Sick.
So it was like, and I think him getting that opportunity to be like, you can be funny in the right setting.
Yeah.
And there's a time and a place to do certain things. It's all those type of things. But yeah, I mean, Stone Soup's been going.
It's almost, sorry to cut you, it's almost, as much as it's creative, it's almost life skills as well.
100%.
You understand what I'm saying? It's life skills, like you're teaching him, like just the kid that you was talking about. You taught him how to, awareness, self-awareness. Because a lot of these youths are not self-aware, so it's the same with these little road youths on the road. They're not self-aware, so they just do whenever, at any time, any place, anyway. You got what I'm saying? But when you teach self-awareness, you think about things first. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely.
That's why it's important to go. The reason I take them to Broadway in like Nottingham is they're like, where's Broadway? I don't know what Broadway is. And as soon as you take them there and you see people like looking at, oh, who's this person? And it gives them a chance to be like, you're allowed to be in this setting as well. Yeah. Like, you're not going to get like looked at as like someone like, oh, who's this youth on the street? And who's it? It's like, you deserve to be here. Of course. You're allowed to be here in these settings as well. It's not just for these people, it's for these people. Like,
and that's so mad to say that, because I could say now on this podcast, I don't want people to get in the comments, like Broadway. Do you not know where Broadway is?
Yeah.
Have you heard of Broadway? And a lot of my people, they couldn't tell you where Broadway is. Yeah. I've only just recently learned about Broadway because I'm knocking about with a few other creatives in the city, innit? So I've only recently know about it, but a lot of people don't know about Broadway and they're creatives, and Broadway is supposed to be for a creative hub, you know what I mean, for creatives. So shout out to Broadway though.
They want to push out for it. I mean, the events manager there, like who I work with, like she just wants, every time I'm saying I've got this thing, she's like, let's do it, and she's.
Are they willing? They love
it, and I think that. I think it's almost like there's an element of like sometimes, you've got to push to show that these like students and like youths or whatever you want to say, like they are creative in their own right and they do want to be in the same settings as everybody else, and they might feel uncomfortable and we know when people feel uncomfortable, it comes out in different ways.
Yeah.
So they might be like shy, they might be angry, they might be, but like letting them have that opportunity to see the same things that everyone else is seeing.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing with what we're trying to do is like actually giving them an avenue to be. You can be whatever you want to be, and you don't have to go down one route. There's so many different routes to go down now. Like there's millionaires now who are making videos out of YouTube videos. But that doesn't get taught in schools. That's not getting taught in schools. Like there's literally like YouTubers who are making more than the big head teachers everywhere.
Is that real?
That they're making the money. You look at KSI, start making FIFA videos.
Yeah, you have to adapt, and that's the good thing about Stone Soup and other APs. And mainstream schools need to get on board. They have to adapt learning to make it work for people in the world we're living in. When I was at school, I didn't want to pay any attention to any of my teachers.
No, neither did I.
No, none of them engaged me in and that's mad.
And for me, it was the teachers didn't engage me at school, but it was youth provisions that engaged me, like Trevor Rose, Nick Stairs, you know what I mean, Sian Maxwell, them man, I don't know what it was. Now I know what it was, but back then it was because they was like you, they care. So your young people, they will lean towards you because you're not like a teacher. Even though you got boundaries and you get what I'm saying.
You got to learn that as well.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You're not a teacher, but you're not their friend. You're their friend, but you're not like one of their friends who attend. You know what I'm saying. So there's levels to this thing, but you got to. It's hard to explain. You've got to have that thing in it.
Do you reckon it's like loosening like the boundary a little bit? So like with these teachers that we grew up with, there was a boundary, very strict boundary between teacher and student, which it has to be. But maybe if you loosen it up a little bit, if if a student tells a teacher to fuck off, right, you can send them to exclusion, or you can go, okay, what's going on with this kid? Let's have a chat. Because they might.
But this is why these mainstream schools are struggling, because that's all they're doing. They're just saying, you're excluded, you're permo, you're permo, you're permo. Do you know what I'm saying? So they're not taking that time out. So this is why I say the mainstream schools need to have people in that can resonate with the young people that are struggling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like someone who's that end of the stick is not going to resonate with someone at the end of the stick. It's just not going to work. No matter what academic qualifications they've got, there's life skills. there's life skills that go for further more than a piece of paper. So you know what I'm saying? So this is why the mainstream schools are kind of struggling, and you get these kids, these unruly kids. Well, they're not really unruly kids. These kids that have been unattended to are just whining out. You know what I'm saying, fam? So this is why there's more alternative provisions that are coming in, like the Pros, Stone Soup, Learn to Learn. There's loads, you know what I mean? But it's weird because I'm going to go back to the last episode. Like the youth clubs are getting shut down. They're important.
Just want to say that.
They're important.
Yeah, man, it's very important.
Because they were like, I remember I could list you all the things that were open to do.
Yeah.
For young people, regardless if you used them or not. It was there like you knew someone was there who cared about you.
Yeah.
It literally, sometimes by shutting these places down and doing all the rest of it, what and it has happened, you are literally to an element going, oh, what are you supposed to do then?
Yeah.
Like, what are they supposed to do? And I think that element of like Pros and APs or whatever you want to, like, they're coming in because, you know, mainstream schools do struggle with that type.
Schools are fucking up, mate. I'll be honest, mate. The schools, they've got a set clientele of teachers, and them teachers cannot deal with the I don't even want to say problematic kids, because they're not even, just the kids that kind of struggle a bit more than others. Yeah. So this is why they need young men like ourselves to kind of go into school and you know what I mean, like try and pattern it, because it's hard, mate. It's mad.
Like the stuff at Stone Soup are very like down to earth and chill stuff. Like all of them are very like.
And I feel like you're like, sorry to cut you there. I feel like you're more. I don't want to say streetwise, because it's just not everyone's from the streets. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're more. You can resonate with them more because you've kind of come from it yourself.
These students, by the way, are going to listen to you call me streetwise, and they're going to laugh their heads off, because that's the last thing they're ever going to call me, streetwise.
Yeah, because it's still levels.
They're going to be like, Oli, streetwise. They're going to be coming on these videos now going,
But deep down to know, you know, even to have that little banter, like, Oli, streetwise, you're not streetwise. That's it in itself, though.
I think there's a thing where it's like, there are, everyone comes into, like me growing up, right? And there's a thing like mum and dad were together growing up, and I had my life was good. In terms of growing up, everything was nice, and you know, I was in isolation. I was in isolation all the time, blah blah blah, for doing whatever at mainstream school. Like, I didn't get excluded, but I was always in that, like outside that room, going like, you've done this thing, you've done this thing, you've done this thing. And I think I'd never try, and I think this is the big thing with Stone Soup and other places. They never try and go, I'm like you. I was like this, and it's just about being relatable. Like
it's awareness.
I know. Your life is so much harder than mine was. Yeah, I don't have to live it to understand and to relate to the fact that your life is hard. Awareness. And just being able to talk to them on a level like, this is mad, and I wouldn't know how this feels. To go through what you're going through right now, I don't know how that feels. And to this day, there's some of the stories that I hear at school, and it honestly, there's stuff that you sometimes hear like makes you well up, and all these other things, and you're going, I couldn't deal with that now being my age.
No, they have to deal with it.
I can't deal with that being my age. And the fact that then they get scrutinised for going, oh, you need to deal with it. And there's a chip on your shoulder. But it's just like, I can't deal with that now. I can't do that now, let alone like when I was young and trying to learn who you are as a person, what you want to be, what you want to do. Literally, you ask a student what they want to do, like, what do you want to do when they're older? Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? I think it's like the most ludicrous question to ask someone at 16 or 15 or 30. Where do you want to be in 5 years? I don't know. What are you talking about? What do you mean where do you want to be in 5 years? It's the worst interview question I've ever heard. I'm like, hopefully living, got a bit of money, everything's good, like I'm happy. And I think there's a thing, being content with your life and happy with what's going on and being around people is more important than some people think. Like, there's literally that track by J. Cole when it's like, Love Yours.
Yeah, mad bad.
So literally where it's like, if I ever start to feel like, oh, my neighbours have got a new fence up and it looks better than mine because my fence is all like raggedy and all this things, I literally put on that track and go, just remember, like,
gratitude,
and
man, gratitude.
And this is what these kids have got. The gratitude that they get from literally just sit down with them and listening to them for 10 minutes is mad.
I think going back to you got a nice upbringing, you had parents who were together and it was all right, and you were still in isolation. Yet that's probably down to like teachers not engaging you and maybe not engaging you in the right way. And I think that's why you're good at the job that you do now, because you understand how to engage a
This is
young
what I'm
person.
saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the engagement, like it's awareness in it. Like some of these mainstream teachers have not got the ability to engage. They've got everything on a piece of paper that says, yeah, you've got the job. But some of these mainstream schools need to start paying the people that haven't necessarily got the papers, but they've got the life skills. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've got the life skills to engage with these young people and hopefully plant a seed within these young people for the better. You know what I'm saying? So it's vital. It's vital work that you're doing. It's vital work, mate. Life-changing work, fam. I know some of the kids some of the kids are leaving and I guarantee you've changed at least one of them kids' life. Now they're gonna believe. Like before, they might have came in there like with no belief. Like fuck this. I might even Skype. I'm not even coming. But now their attendance is up. They're engaging in the activities. They're finished.
Yeah,
they're
literally
finished.
that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's down to your team. That's down to you and your team by being there, fam. You know what I'm saying? Not just being there because it's a job. Obviously, we've got bills to pay and that,
of course,
and it is a job, but it's more than a job. I guarantee that you've spoke to most of your students outside of work hours.
100%.
It don't stop. It don't just stop at 3:30.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's kind of 24-hour work, mate. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of 24. Obviously, we've got boundaries and we've got and whatnot, but this work with the kids for changing lives, it's 24 hours for me anyway. And I've seen it like within St. Anne's itself. Like some of these youths that come here, I might get a call at 9 o'clock, mate, when blood clot I'm watching whatever. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I watch it now, you know. I watch it now. I watch Love Island now, you know. It's all right still. It's all right. But yeah, I might get a call while I'm watching Love Island, mate. Yo, Jah, man. Feds, this ABC in the third. You know what I mean? Oh, where are you, man? Fucking hell, where, you get what I'm saying? So it's not just at 3:30. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Imagine if they didn't have that.
What's that?
Like that, so someone's calling you at that time or whatever. Imagine if they didn't have someone like you to call.
No, this is what I'm saying. Like the mainstream schools, 3:30, mate. I'm out. Mate. I'm going. You get what I'm saying? I'll see you tomorrow. Detention, whatever it is. But your work, what you're doing, it's vital because it's not just a 36 hour a week job. You know what I mean? It's longevity, mate, and it's changing lives at the end of the day. People think that changing lives is a joke thing. Like it's people's lives. It's people's kids. Parents, their kids, it's their lives. Life or death. Yeah. Some kids didn't make it. Some kids didn't make it. Yeah. Some kids didn't make it. Death, gone mad on smoking food. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Prison, stabbing man and doing whatnot.
But I think that I think that the difficulty is as well, like, even if the teachers at the mainstream schools have the best intention, they are teaching like classes of like 30 kids at times, and they teach them like for 1 hour, and then the next 30 kids come in. Yeah. But then if you went to, a private school, that wouldn't happen. Like that's subsidized.
Yeah. My brother's in London now teaching, and he's literally saying that.
Nice one, mate.
My brother's in a private school now. My brother's in London now, and the way. Like he says he's teaching English, and he said the craziest thing one time is a student came in London, and he just said like, I'm teaching him Shakespeare, but he can't even spell his own name in English yet. So it's like with you say the good intentions, and these teachers do you don't get into teaching to be rich. You just don't do it. Yeah. But there's so many obstacles in the way sometimes of trying to get stuff through. Like I can't imagine ever going to a mainstream setting, because the stuff that you get to do at Stone Soup, for example, with the kids it's just a different level of like the building relationship.
I get what you mean.
That does feel like something where I remember it back in the day where you talk to these older people when you're like I want to just listen to what they've got to say for a bit, and I try to always aspire to. I want to show you that you're not a failure.
It's changing lives. It's the real work.
You got something about you.
It's the real work. It's the real work. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, obviously the mainstream teachers, I'm not saying it's their fault.
No.
It's not the main, they're doing their job, because the academically we need, as much as we need life skills, we need academic skills as well. You get what I'm saying? They do that. But my thing is, the life skills is as much as important as the academic skills,
100%.
and it should be valued at that as well.
The same thing.
It should be
50-50.
valued at that. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
50-50,
And it's not. It's up here and it's down here. Even though we're working hard down here, but for me, I feel like the life skills is more. It's more. I don't want to say it's more, but yeah, it's 50-50 in it. It's 50. It's as much as the academic side. You know what I mean? People.
Everywhere I've got, like personally, is from life skills and from academics.
This is what I'm saying.
And I think there's a lot of people that have to adapt, particularly creative people, because creativity is sort of like secondary to like academics in most mainstream schools, I'd say.
Yeah.
That you have to adapt and make it work for you.
Yeah.
And yes, I think like, I mean, it's good. It's good. Like places like Stone Soup, the way the approach they take.
It's amazing, man. It's amazing.
So we're coming towards the end, but before we do, chat about the event on the 19th of July, the Metronome.
So I think when you talk about the life skills and all that stuff, like I've been passionate for, like, and the school has been for so long about knife crime, because you can't work with some of the students you work with without hearing about it and talking about it, and it's like
become an epidemic.
Yeah, it's mad, and I think I love all the films that have been done on it and talking about it is amazing. I love it, and I think it is important that it's there, but I can't. I always think how it's crazy, you know, when someone gets stabbed or any of this thing, and especially when you're talking about babies, really, they're kids. Like 14, like kids. It's crazy.
Yeah,
like, and I think we want to just kind of like, it's hard when you talk about knife crime, because you go around like, there's so many people going like, knife crime's bad, and they say like, well, yeah, all right, we get that. So our thing isn't trying to be about preaching about how bad knife crime is, because everyone knows it, but it's about going, there's victims on both sides. Yeah, there's a reason why they're, like, you talk to somebody, like, there's people who carry knives, and we speak to these people who carry knives, like, why do you do it? And sometimes either they don't know, they're doing it for protection, they think like, this other person is doing it. And there's so many factors, like, we did so many like chats with our students, and it's like, when you hear that, their side of it, it's crazy. But the event is trying to just hear their side of what's going on and what their views are of it, because that's the thing that we need to start listening to, what their views are of it, regardless if you agree with it or not. It's hearing what their views are, and then getting people like yourself and other Nottingham creatives, because when I originally thought about it, we're like, oh, we'll get people from London, this person, but it's like, I feel like you got to look after.
Yeah, we're all in.
Yeah, like the Nottingham creatives are here, and I think it's showing that these students are like, there's other avenues to go, and there's other things you can do. And I think doing an event like this, so it's like, we've got obviously yourself doing your thing, we've got Livia, who you work with, who's doing her thing, got Joe Baker coming down to it, and I think Janelle was doing some the DJ set before.
Yes, Janelle,
and I think as well as a Stone Soup student who's just finished in year 11, she's performing on the night.
Amazing.
Recorded the track with Conji.
The Conji did the track,
Conji,
yes.
He's got a studio on Broad Street. Well, he has out a studio on Broad Street. So the student went in, recorded the track.
And this is it. And then hopefully, I hope the student gets that feeling, man, of just going in the studio, building the track, getting the track mixed and mastered, going ready for match day, stage show, smash it, and then do it all over again.
Exactly.
And again and again and again. And
there's an interview that we did with her after the whole thing, and it's because she's we're playing the short film preview in Hollow there as well.
Yes.
And which was massive for like the city, and people are just talking about it now. And she the thing that she came back after was there like, it was long, I was tired.
Yeah, that's it.
But she was there like, but I want to do it all again.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
I think that's the thing. It's there like, these kids aren't scared of hard work.
No. Just giving them the opportunity.
But it's what work you're giving them.
Yeah.
Like
and giving them the opportunity to be amongst it, like, you know what I mean? Like to be amongst it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not for these kids, talented, but they don't even know how to get their toe in the door. To be on a film set, to be on a podcast, even to be on a stage, even to be in a studio. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you have to give thanks for the people creating the platforms, for the kids to express. As I started it, I'm gonna finish it like that. Like, so that's it. The platforms for the kids to express more of it. More people like yourself, and let's just keep doing it.
It's crazy. It's sold out.
See?
All the tickets gone. Like, so many people are buzzing about it. Like, and we'll still get people like, oh, can I have a ticket? See? And it's literally like, we ain't got it left. So it's like, it is that type of thing to do in the
When
city.
is that? When is that? The 29th of July?
July 19th.
July 19th, yeah.
Metronome,
Yeah. See, Metronome Nottingham City, 19th of July, mate. It's going off. It's going off in there, trust me. So, yeah, man.
Big up. All right, nice one, Ollie. And
Nice one.
yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, big up.
I've grown into a fine young man. Truth be told, I ain't done bad from the life one had. Beautiful.